Hello, my name's Starsky Smith. I was a veteran, served 20 years in the United States Army, military police corps, got out, joined the corporate world, and got into the field of loss prevention. Been working my way up through the ranks, you would so to say, through the corporate world. And then I've ended up here at Napa Auto Parts, where I've been for approximately 6 years now.
And so, what were the main challenges, obstacles that you faced in your career before enrolling in the program?
I would say that some of my issues were concepts that I had prior to joining Vertical Motion. The idea that hard work is going to get you to that next level, which I obviously have done the hard work and stuff, but I wasn't letting it be known that the work was mine. And so those are the things that really came out. And then I would really say that one of the key things was finding your passion. That's one of the key fundamentals. It's not just like, hey, let's do your resume, let's get your LinkedIn, put some stuff out there. There's some real deep soul searching to find out what your true passion is in the program, and then to tweak those passions to what you can make money and how you can excel in your career.
Right. And so, what would you say motivated you to join the Executive Career Accelerator Program?
I would say what motivated me to join is I was kind of in a slump, just like I think everybody that I've ever talked to is their phone talked to them. And I found Tom on Instagram, and he was talking in a way that made sense. It was plain, it was simple, it was understandable, it was relatable. And him being a veteran also, understanding those challenges that come from transitioning out really spoke to me.
Describe your experience throughout the program.
My experience throughout the program has been phenomenal, for one. And then two, the program is great, but the community is greater. I liked the fact that it's not a 3 month or a 6 month program and you get kicked out and you go upon your way. We've had people in the program that have gone and found that next level job and then found out that it hadn't fit for them. It wasn't the right culture fit or whatever. And they're welcome right back into the fold. And we help each other and we support each other in everything that we do. It's really about having somebody that's a cheerleader for you other than just the team. There's other people cheering you on and want to succeed. And I would say that getting people's different perspectives from different career fields. I'm in loss prevention. I've been in law enforcement for most of my life. And now I talk to rocket scientists. Now
Right.
I talk to IT experts, HR managers, operational specialists. There is just a conglomerate of people, and they can see your value and you can see theirs, and you're willing to help them, whatever it is, to get to that next level. And I will tell you, the community is, they will tell you the truth. Nothing's ever sugarcoated. I've got many DMs and stuff before, like, hey, I liked this. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I've got some good critiques, some bad critiques on stuff that I've wrote or posted and stuff like that. And so I liked that it's fair, it's unvarnished in the community, and we can be honest brokers with each other. Or they don't understand something that you're writing about, they'll reach out to you. And so it's really the community part of it that drives a lot of it.
Yeah, I would say that what you're buying into as part of the program is an entirely different network. I think as we work
Yeah.
in different industries, right? The people that you hang out with or know all day are the people that are in your industry. And so you bring up a really good point. You have met people, like you said, rocket scientists, HR specialists, and the list goes on and on. I will put a fine point on the community in that what we are attracting here at Vertical Motion are professionals, people that are, striving, that are building their career, that are growing and want to grow even further other, but the through line with the community today is they are all good people. I see people reaching across the aisle, hey, how can I help you? And all of it is to improve each other. We have accountability partners. We have people that are in different parts of the country, which that when they travel, it's like, hey, there is somebody in Texas. Hey, there is somebody in New York. You guys have to meet up. So it kind of warms my heart to see all the photos that you guys send from all the meetups. But yeah, thank you for talking about the community. Of all the things that you've experienced here at Vertical Motion, what has been the most impactful?
The most impactful, I think the most impactful is like I love our Tuesday calls. I really, really do because Tom is sharing his perspective, his thought, and like everybody gets to kind of like voice their opinion or put their 2 cents in, and you get to see it from a different point of view. And I don't have a word for it, but it reminds me of a quote where the best leaders don't know all the answers, but
Mhm.
they know how to ask the right questions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so we're allowed to ask those questions when we're doing stuff. It's not just a regurgitation of slides and stuff. There's questions asked and there's questions answered. And it might not always be from the people at Vertical Motion. It might be one of our peers or something in the group that has specific details
Yeah.
of an incident that or a situation that you can relate to.
Right, right. Because everybody's been through it. And the other thing is that I think that we build a line of trust pretty quickly so that people feel okay. Also, not, I don't have the answer. I'm not really sure. And it's great to see everybody jump in and say, oh no, I've walked through that one before. Let me help you out on that. So those connections I think are really, really important. What has been, and I already know the answer to this because I've seen it, but what has been the outcome for you? How has it impacted you professionally as well as personally?
Professionally, it's made me more open to put myself out there to envision a different future than I first had when I came. It's funny. I started my own podcast,
Yeah.
obviously mentoring, trying to help understand leadership from different points of views, and also having a glass of whiskey or
Yeah.
whatever drink that you prefer.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely pushed me in a different direction, and it really made me think. And I remember filming the first episode on the podcast, and I want to say I filmed it like 5 times,
Mm.
5 times, and I never was happy enough with it. I just wasn't. And I reflected the way Tom has told us to. And I went back and actually looked at some of his first videos and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like you can grow from this to what Tom is. And so I took that as a grain of salt, and I posted my first episode, and I posted my second episode, which was a little better than the first episode. And then I posted my third episode, which is, I think, way better than the first two. And so it's just a continual growth pattern and getting support from the community for it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's been amazing to watch. I mean, you're such a quick learner, and and I've told you this before. You're a natural. You're
Yeah, it's fun, and I like my posting and stuff like that on LinkedIn. I've got some really good takeaways even in the last couple weeks.
Mm,
Like I was on a call with two vendors. I think I wrote about it in the community as my win for
mm,
the week. And it was funny because I was on a call with my boss and two different vendors for a project that we have. And they were literally talking back and forth and talking about articles and stuff that I wrote. And they were like, it was funny. I took it as a compliment. I was like, oh yeah, somebody must have hacked my account. But I kind of blew it off because I didn't want it to be about me, obviously. And then I had a second encounter in the exact same week. I was on a call with my VP of transportation, and we started talking about AI. And he asked my opinion on it because I had posted, he had seen some of the posts in which I had written. And so we had a conversation about it. And then he literally told his entire team if they haven't linked up with me on LinkedIn, they really should, because I put out really good content for supply chain side of the business. And so that was a very good win for me.
that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Do you think you would have been doing stuff like this prior to Vertical Motion?
No,
No.
no, I wouldn't have done it. No, probably not have. I probably would have just kept working hard and hopefully one day, get promoted. So
Yeah, interesting. Back to if you just work really hard, it's all going to pan out and it's all going to work. Yeah,
Yeah.
you made a really good point at the beginning. So, I guess my last question is, would you recommend the Executive Career Accelerator Program to anyone in your network or anyone that you felt that was, up against some challenges, maybe stuck at a certain level?
Definitely, I would. I actually recommended it this week. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies who's a SAR major in the Army at the military police school and is getting ready to retire. And I took some of the tools in which I learned in this program and was able to show him, mistakes that he was making on his LinkedIn and on his resume. And I told him that I recommend that everybody, senior NCO and officer getting out of the military, even though they have a program called TAP or Soldier for Life, should get an executive recruiter to help them and to build their network. And I recommended Tom. I told him that Tom Cox was mine, and I recommended to him that he should probably look into him also.
Right. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And so we have attracted an amazing group of people. We have an amazing staff as well that, we're going to we have recruiters on staff, and Tom has all the experience in his industry. And so he is able to speak to that as well as certainly leadership, because we've all had our experiences with both good leaders and bad leaders. But yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, no, not a problem.
Thank you, Starsky. Thanks for the time. I'll chat with you later.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.